Hi and welcome to this time-lapse tutorial of how to draw an Italian water dog puppy. So you're coming in after we've done the top left-hand side of the face, and I wanted to move across and do the right-hand side of the face. It's how it naturally felt like it would flow. And I've gone in and I've done the darker sections underneath the curly fur first. I talked about this a lot in part one. I like to get those sort of darker shadows in place first, and then I can gradually build up the colours towards the lighter highlights at the top. And that's what makes those curls really start to pop and start to come alive. And I'm doing what I call these scraggly bits. So it's the bits that sort of with curly fur come off of the edge. And to me, that's one of the things that makes it look the most realistic, because it doesn't look like a flat cut out piece of paper. It looks like something that is alive, something that has these scraggly bits, and it starts to bring life into the piece. And then obviously when the eye goes in, that makes a huge amount of difference as well. And here especially, you had not very much of the eye showing. It's quite dark. It's in the darker side of the face. There's more shadow, but just having that bit of light popping under the eye really sort of started to make this puppy look alive. And then as I move down the face, I'm doing the same thing again. I'm getting in those darker shadows and I'm building up the colour and the shape, and I'm just gradually going from the dark to the lights. And what I'm doing though is I'm looking at the colours that are present in that fur, and I'm starting to get them in the base tones, because everything that you put down will have an effect, it'll have an impact on how the highlights look at the top of the page. So if you put in these sort of really, really dark blacks underneath with no other tones, when you start to move up through to your highlights, you're not going to be bringing out any other colours underneath. So if you've got those other colours already present in your base layers, as you start to build up and go towards the highlights at the top, they start to bring out the lighter colours that you've already put down. You know, black isn't black. It's made up of all sorts of other different colours, and you can see in here there's browns, there's oranges like burnt orange, ochre type colours, there's purples, blues, pinks, and there's all these sort of tones. And half the reason I love this photograph is because the photographer sort of edited it almost so that you've got all these wonderful colours coming out and shining through. And then there's that gorgeous little sort of pink button nose. And I love drawing noses when they're this colour, because they really do come to life so easily, because you've got to focus on the highlights to sort of get that shine on them, and then they really start to pop off the page. And they're not just pink, you know, there's purples in there, there's browns in there, there's all sorts of different tones in there. So there's lots of beautiful colours that make up those noses. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you for part 3 next week. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. Take care, guys. Bye.